Taslima Nasreen. It is my great honor and privilege that we have today Taslima Nasreen with us for reasons that anyone in the subcontinent understands. I'm not getting up only because my leg is broken, but I would. Yeah. I mean, she is a voice of freedom. She is a voice of freedom of expression, of dissent, of expressing a view very strongly. And let me read from Exile, which is her memoir, which has just been published. And this is exactly what she is and what she stands for. And we should all be grateful that there are people like her. And here's what she says. As long as a woman is helpless and oppressed, as long as she is weak and in despair, and demands that her voice be heard, the instant she breaks nonsensical taboos to claim responsibility of her own mind and body, she becomes an outcast and an object of loathing. Taslima has shown spine. She has faced loathing. She has faced physical attacks. She has lived in exile. And she's here to tell us her story. Thanks very much for being with us. My first question to you is about Dikondito. Why did it create such a furor? Why was it so unpopular? Why did it lead to your exile?
Dikondito was not at all unpopular. It was a very popular book. And
but it led to the West Bengal government very angry with it. That's what I meant.
It was in a best-selling list, and it's still selling very well. And it was banned by West Bengal government in 2003 because West Bengal government at that time, the chief minister, Buddhadev Bhattacharya, said that 25 writers and intellectuals came to him and said that this book could create kind of, make Muslim fanatics angry. So he banned the book. And actually, no Muslim asked for banning the book. It was Chief Minister Buddhadev Bhattacharya in 2003 decided to ban the book. Some of the writers were very unhappy after reading the book because in that book I described my sexual freedom. And, it was the third part of my autobiography. In the first part of my autobiography, I described how vulnerable, Amar Meyebela, how vulnerable I was when I was a child. Everybody liked that. And in the second part of my book, Utal Hawa, I described how I was oppressed and tortured by my husband and how I was forced to divorce him. Everybody liked that because as a woman, I was very vulnerable, very weak, and I was tortured, and I was oppressed. Everybody was sympathized with me. But when, in the third part of my autobiography, when I described, I'm a very strong person. I decided for myself. I decide what I will do. It was me who decided what I will do with my body. Then they didn't like me anymore. Then they thought that I was a very bad person, As long as women are weak, or tortured, oppressed, those women will get lots of sympathy, but not the strong women. Strong women, even the people, the writers and intellectuals, in Kolkata, which we call a progressive city, writers and intellectuals asked government to ban my book only because they didn't like my ideas. And then when government decided to throw me out of Bengal, it was some writers and intellectuals also supported the idea of government.
How long did this period of exile last for you? How long was this period of exile for you?
Yeah, I actually was forced to leave Bangladesh in 1994. It's been 24 years that I have not been able to go back to my country. And I lived in the West, in Europe and America for quite a long time. And then I decided to come back to India at least because the door of my country was closed for me. So I thought that I could live in Kolkata where I can speak my language and I can hear Bengali language. So I wanted to live in a Bengali environment. But after living for 3.5 years, that I was forced to leave Bengal. I am a Bengali writer. I left everything. I'm an European citizen, but I left Europe for the Indian subcontinent, for Bengali environment, And now I am not allowed to live in Bangladesh and also West Bengal, the two East and West Bengal. I'm not allowed to live there. So I have to live some other countries or in other, not Bengali environment. Even I tried to, in Delhi, I'm living in Delhi. I wanted to rent an apartment in CR Park, that Bengali area.
Chittaranjan Park,
and,
yes.
Bengali people they said that they like my books, they like me, they like my ideas, but they will not be able to, rent out an apartment. Not for me. They don't want me to live in that area.
Why?
So I am abundant, I am, kind of outlaw. Everybody, is afraid of me as if that somebody would throw a bomb on me and they will be affected.
So why do you like India so much? Why do you love India so much? You said that repeatedly in the book. It comes through your affection for the country.
If I could live in my country, Bangladesh. But no Bangladesh government allows me to go back to my country. So India is the only alternative where I can get, I can feel at home. So in India, I don't feel like an outsider. I speak in one of the Indian languages. I write in Bengali, which is one of the Indian languages. And also, I have many readers here in India. I feel at home. Even though I'm a citizen of one of the European countries, and I never feel at home there.
Now, you said in the book that India has given me language, culture, and dreams, but it can easily rob me of my history and my home. How can India do that? How are you being robbed of your history and your home? Is it the political process around your residency permit? Is it the visa status? What is it that bothers you?
I don't believe in the partition. So, always when I see that Bengal is divided only because, based on religion. And I don't believe in religion, and I do not think that Bengali people, should be divided. There's a political barbed wire, and religious. It's based on religion, which I cannot accept because still Bengali people, whatever their religions, Hindus and Buddhists, Muslims or Christians, all are Bengali. They speak Bengali and their cultures is this very secular Bengali culture. So when I was, I was forced to leave West Bengal and then I was forced to leave India in 2008. I felt like that I was again, I was forced to go into exile again. I never feel that India is not my home. I am a foreigner in India. So it was the same pain I had when I was forced to leave my country in 1994, the same pain I felt when I had to leave India in 2008. So, I want to, I just do not want to live here only because I feel at home. I want to do something while I am in India. You know, here women are oppressed. Many times we see that human rights are violated. So, and that the secularism that people practice are not true secularism. So I think that I can write about it. I can write about my views, and I can, you know, by reading my books, many women told me that they feel strength. They have now strength. They are more courageous than before. So I think that this is the best award that I get from women here in India. And also in Bangladesh, also in other countries, women told me the same thing. But I think that if I live in India, if I live, you know, here and nobody threw me out again, threw me out of India again, then I will really try to encourage women to fight for their rights and freedom.
You said that towards the end of your book, you say that India is the safest country for an honest secular writer in the subcontinent. And the words are very instructive: honest writer and secular writer, and in the subcontinent. But, you know, for the last 2 or 3 years, people have been talking about a growing climate of intolerance in India. We've had at least three instances of writers who have been murdered. In that kind of a context, do you feel safe writing in India?
Not always I feel safe, but you know, because I don't feel safe, so that I have to leave the country, I never think of that. You know, many people are intolerant. Many people, you know, when, you know, you will see that many misogynist people are here. They're intolerant towards women. And also that I have seen how many writers and secular writers are hacked to death in Bangladesh. And also there are secular people were killed here. So I think that they should be stopped. So, you know,
how can we do that? How can we stop that?
You know, not by killing people or not by punishing people. I think that education is very important. If we have real secular education, you know, if children learn education, you know, the real good education, and also that education about women, that women are equal human beings, then we will not see so many misogynist people out there. Women are getting raped. Women are victims of domestic violence. You know, women are victims of sex trafficking. Everything should be stopped. You know, so intolerance you see only when some secular people are getting killed. Intolerance I see everywhere. So I think that everything should be, those old intolerance should be corrected by education.
You cried for a Bengal in the book again that you say has now gone. And of course, by that probably you mean the kind of Bengal of the Larun Fakir and the cinema of Satyajit Ray and the poetry of Nazrul or Tagore, in a sense. And you describe it as a land of cunning flatterers, cruel overlords, and an unconcerned multitude. And you're unsparing. You're talking about both East and West having been turned like that. And you in one of the poems, there's a long, beautiful passage of about 40 poems that you have in the middle of the book, where you talk about you want your tears to irrigate the land so that the new people may grow and life may return. What role do you see for yourself, for writers? Is it through secularism? Is it through rediscovering something of Bengali nationalism? How can that come about?
No, I don't believe in nationalism. Mm-hmm. I believe in one world. And so that even though I was born in Bangladesh, I don't feel like, you know, as a foreigner in India, because I don't believe in nationalism. But I believe in humanism. I believe in rationalism, rather. I believe in rights and freedom and one passport, one world.
Now, turning, yeah, sorry, go on. Yeah, okay. Yeah. One of the things you've written a bit about Bangladesh also in Exiles, and you've described it as a medieval country of bigotry, extremism, and fanaticism. And you refer to the bloggers being hacked, and I know some of the bloggers who now live in exile in Norway.
Yeah.
Amadou Rashid Tutul, you know, the one who runs Shuddha Shore. And I've written for Shuddha Shore, I've written for Mukto Mona, and I know, and you know, people like Bonia Ahmad and others who have been fighting the brave battle there. What can people outside do to strengthen those voices? And how can the Sushil Samaj, the little that exists in Bangladesh, seize the narrative and do something to bring about a situation where these writers are able to write freely?
You know, many writers, I should say they are bloggers mainly. They used to write on Facebook. And those bloggers were forced to leave Bangladesh. And I also helped some of the bloggers to leave Bangladesh. But because if they lived in Bangladesh, maybe they would have been hacked to death by now. So, but it is so difficult for them to continue their fight from outside. You know, they will continue writing in Bengali. And
there's a loneliness, isn't it? Because I met a couple of them in Sweden, and they were in little villages. There's no Indian, Pakistani, or Bangladeshi nearby. The biggest capital city, whether it's Stockholm or Oslo, is several hours away. Yeah, it's a very lonely life.
They have to have, you know, they have to use Facebook and Twitter to get people around. I think that they were doing, when they were living in Bangladesh, they were doing the same thing. They had contact only through internet. So they have to use internet much more now than before.
Now, I have a question which is slightly broader and goes a bit beyond India, Bangladesh, and so on, which is the whole idea about the right to speak. And you're a champion, you're an icon of that, in a sense. Where do you place hate speech in that direction? Does one have untrammeled right to speak freely? Or is there something like hate speech?
I believe in freedom of expression, absolute freedom of expression. I think that, you know, when I criticize religions because I believe that all religions are anti-women. So because I fight for women's rights and freedom, I have to criticize those religions which are against women. And when I criticize Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity, Judaism, I don't face problems. But whenever I criticize Islam, then I see that Islamic fundamentalists want to kill me. If they could write, just like me, that where I am wrong, why they do not think that, why do they think that I am wrong? If they describe, then it would have been okay. But the problem is they want to kill me. Not only me, whoever criticizes Islam, the Islamic fundamentalists want to kill them. I think that it is necessary for Islamic societies to be tolerant and to accept criticism, because without criticism of dogmas and religious fanaticism or religion, you will not have any progress. So many Muslims do not want any uniform civil code, but uniform civil code is urgently necessary for women's rights, because they don't want any criticism. Just in India, I can tell you, in West Bengal, the Nurur Rahman Barkoti, who issued fatwas against me, who set price on my head, and he announced that he would give the assassin, the killers of, whoever could kill me, unlimited amount of money. And he did that in the middle of Kolkata, where, lots of many police officers were there, and nobody touched that man for doing, for announcing an illegal fatwas, which is illegal. He set price on my head. And he was a very good friend of the previous government and very good friend of Mamata Banerjee, the
current
chief minister of West Bengal. How come a bigoted, a misogynist, a fatwabaz become so good friend of government? So, but we proudly say that this country is secular, the state is secular. What do you mean by secularism? Secularism means that you have to encourage Muslim fanatics who issue fatwas against people, who set price on writers. So I think the government should be changed. For Muslim votes, you throw secular writers out of your country, but you keep and you encourage Muslim fanatics who do not believe in democracy, who do not believe in human rights and women's rights, and who continuously issuing fatwas against people, setting price against people. So how come the people in Hyderabad who attacked me physically, I was attacked, I was the victim, and I got punishment. I had to leave the country. What did I do? I did not commit any crime, but it was me who was punished. And those people who attacked me physically, they didn't get punishment at all. I heard that Congress government was their ally, and they were fine. So here, if the Muslim fanatics, whatever crime they commit, they will not get punished. Rather, victims should be punished. I think this law should be changed. I am not, many people could think that I am for Hindu fanatics or, no, I am against all kind of fanaticism. And when I criticize Hindu fanaticism, many Hindus attacked me. Many right-wing people, Hindus, attacked me. So why, I don't know. You call yourself secular, but you don't see that when I get attacked by Hindu fanatics, you only see I get attacked by Muslim fanatics. And you blame me for criticizing religion. But you are allowed to criticize your religion, but why shouldn't we criticize Islam? Because you know very well, without criticism of Islam, we will not be able to make Islamic countries secular. It is impossible. We have to make the religion and state separate. If you think that you are allowed to do that because you are civilized and you actually put down Muslims, you think that Muslims are ignorant, Muslims are fanatics, Muslims are illiterate, Muslims will not be able to make their states or society secular. So you think that it is good to have Muslim personal laws, which actually are against women. Hindu Shastra also do not give any freedom to women. In Bangladesh, Hindu people are living, under no modern laws. They are suffering. Hindu women do not have any right to divorce their husbands, any right to have any property of their fathers. In India, you changed that law. You have now modern law that Hindu women are getting equal rights. But you do not want that for Muslim women. Is it a democracy?
No, you're right in pointing out.
So why shouldn't Muslim women have the same democratic rights? Some fanatics do not want because they have selfish reasons. But why you, Indian secular people, do not want to have uniform civil code?
No, you're right in pointing out that there is a discrepancy here, there's a dichotomy here, and there is clearly a kind of selective choice of tools with which people are.
So I don't call those people true secular people. I call myself true secular person because I am against all kinds of fanaticism.
And what that tells me is that writer's job is usually lonely. The writer is always holding up a mirror to the society, and challenges the society to look at its own orthodoxies, which go across every religion. You pointed out Hindu issues here, but I also know of cases where Christian fundamentalists have started stopping films from being shown, from books from being published, and so on. So it's a generic problem, which probably goes down to what we were talking about yesterday, at the session, day before yesterday, about the laws that we have inherited from the British Raj, Section 295A, 155A, 124A, Article 19B, and so on. These are the laws that talk about placing reasonable restrictions. And that's what
those laws should be abolished.
Yes.
In Bangladesh also, the government filed cases against me in Bangladesh on the charges of blasphemy, which is that 295A and 295B. Here also, the case was filed against me, and the book, the Kondito, was banned, that they used that 295A. I think these laws, those old British laws, which were created, I think, 150 years ago, even England doesn't have that laws.
Absolutely.
But the subcontinent has these laws which are used against freedom of expression. If it is a democratic country, their freedom of expression, we should, this country must have freedom of expression. Without freedom of expression, democracy has no meaning. And to have freedom of expression, those two old British laws which are used against freedom of expression must be abolished.
Religions are, after all, ideas, and ideas should be challenged. This is what Christopher Hitchens used to say, and he was absolutely right there. We have 3 more minutes, and I have time for 2 questions. Only 2. They have to be questions, not comments, and they have to be brief. So please, the gentleman with the beard there, and the lady there with glasses. Yeah? And please keep it brief. The gentleman with the beard here, and the lady there with glasses. Over there. Just stand up, yeah, thanks.
You have an extremist view of not believing in nationalism. How far do you believe in democratic structure of the government?
Can you just repeat it?
How far do you believe in the democratic? You believe in extremist view of not believing in nationalism. How far do you believe in democratic structure of a state?
How far do you believe in a democratic structure of the state?
I believe in democracy. I just don't believe in national boundaries, especially those boundaries if those boundaries are created based on religion.
Which are the problems you think which are common in Bangladesh and India also, in fact worldwide, and which you think that should be changed? They need a change. The common problems.
Yeah, common problems. There are many common problems. And of course they should be changed. Because I write about women's rights and freedom, I see that women are oppressed. Of course women are oppressed everywhere in the world, but I have seen in Bangladesh women are oppressed, also in India women are oppressed. So women should be treated as equal human beings, and women should have really equal rights.
The lady here, and if time permits, one more at the end, the gentleman there, but please 1 sentence and very quick.
Thank you. I'm Muslim, I'm from Egypt, and the issue we're talking here about, I think you've touched something important, but I believe from what we see in our countries, women are not oppressed generally, and not Muslim, they're not oppressed, it's mainly the tradition. So my question to you, don't you think that when you touch somebody's beliefs, I mean, we're not talking here politics, I agree that you want of secularism, and this has to do with politics at the end of the day, because you want to change regimes and legislations in countries. But don't you think that some of what you've been through is because we came to personal beliefs, that somebody believes in something and we are attacking? Don't you think that religion is more personal beliefs than anything else?
Okay, and very quickly your question. No? Okay, let's get an answer to this. Yeah, sorry, yeah. The question is religion about personal beliefs, and is it about, and what is your view about religion?
Yeah, you know, if you believe in religion, of course I will not be against you. You have the You have all the right to believe in your religion or whatever religion you like. But I also have the right to not to believe in religion. But the problem is that state, society, and everybody respect the right of people to believe in religion, but they do not respect the right not to believe in religion. This is the problem. And what I think that everybody should have the right to believe in their religion, and it should be personal matter. State must not be religious. State must be separated, completely separated from religion. And law must not be, based on religion. All laws must be based on equality and justice.
Thank you very much. Khub dhanyabad, Taslima, that you've come here. Can I ask Salil, will you both come up for a photograph, for anybody who wishes to take a photograph? For us, this was a very important session. As you all know, it is our duty and responsibility to ensure all kinds of viewpoints are presented here at the Jaipur Literature Festival. We're often faced with criticism about allowing one side or the other side. Thank you for your support. We really appreciate it. Continue to fight to allow this platform to be a sacred space for all kinds of viewpoints to be presented. Thank you all very much. Thank you, Taslina. Thank you, Salil. And a big thank you to the Jaipur Police, who've continued to support us in every way. Thank you very much, the Jaipur Police. Thank you.